Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Couch Potato Sports, Denver Broncos is back. And we're back with a lot of fashion. You see our faces. You didn't used to see our faces, but now you can see our faces. Yeah, we made it big,
We're
boys.
getting there.
We're doing well. We took some time off. We're doing some stuff around the house, doing some stuff with the kiddos. We're living the dream out here, but we sure do miss talking about the Denver Broncos. And I'm sure we've been itching to talk about the Denver Broncos. Yes. I know I've been itching to talk about the Denver Broncos. I will admit, though, I haven't been as invested as I normally would be, mainly because the Denver Nuggets, let's be honest. Denver Nuggets have been playing to the caliber that Denver has never seen before. So
nobody's ever seen
pretty
before.
Darn exciting.
Exactly. Nobody. I saw a stat line that I would have to pull up on an image on my phone, but it was comparing Jokic and Murray to Shaq and Kobe. And
it was like points per game, and every stat was higher than Shaq and Kobe.
Right, and points per game, it was like 8 or 9 points per game, and assists, it wasn't even close. I mean, they averaged Shaq and Kobe was like 5 combined assists. It was terrible.
Did you guys catch it? I think it was after one of the Laker games. I think it was when Jokic broke Kareem. I think it was it Wilt
Chamberlain's,
Wilt Chamberlain's triple double record.
And it's still going.
When he was when he was asking, or when he was talking to the NBA Tonight guys, they were congratulating him on it and everything, and he asked Shaq, "Hey, where's Shaq rank on that list?" Did you guys catch that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What do you say? Like we don't pass or something like that?
Yeah, exactly. He's like, I don't pass, big honey. I don't pass.
Well, there's another thing that Shaq and Joker were talking about. Basically, it was Shaq or Charles Barkley asked Nikola Jokic, "Hey, who did you look up to as a center in that center position? Who is somebody that you try to emulate your game after?" And without hesitation, Joker was like, "Oh yeah, Shaq." Then he just smiled at him. And Shaq, they're always poking fun at each other. I love to see it because I love to see the love that Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal give that man, because honestly, he doesn't receive a lot of it, not until recently.
Well, and Charles Barkley also, kind of had his rant and blow up about ESPN not giving the Nuggets any love after sweeping the Lakers. I don't know if you guys caught that as well. I'm liking that there's more people pounding their fist for this Nuggets team for at least recognition and respect.
Yeah, right. I agree. Denver Nuggets are great. It's been exciting to watch. I was telling Jimmy the other day, Anthony, that it's nice to have the Denver Nuggets playing so well, because it reminds me of the Colorado Avalanche last year and how you got to ride that train the closer it gets to football season. So you have less waiting. You know what I mean?
There's not much of a break.
Exactly. So you have the Denver Nuggets, and if all goes well, the series will probably end. What is it, Monday? Is that game 5?
Hopefully Monday.
Yeah, hopefully Monday. If all goes well in our favor, by Monday, the series will be done with. And then we only have 2 months. That's insane.
Training camp will start in July.
Training camp will start. Right. There's a lot of hype behind that.
Kind of lessens that blow going into training camp. That 2 month period right there.
Exactly. So I'm looking forward to it. I am damn excited about this football season. However, Anthony, so we ended up just going live on TikTok. We didn't record a podcast or anything because
I didn't think so. I was looking for it.
I got to get my feet wet, man. It's been a while, so I gotta do a little practice run. Jimmy, I'm sure Jimmy was a little surprised with how pessimistic I was. And I'm sure you would be too, because I'm usually the optimistic one.
I'm usually the one that is definitely the more negative one leading into a season. We balance each other out well.
I think the more surprising part about it was that we talked before we looked at the schedule, and we kind of agreed that we're gonna be realistic, kind of this real even keel, kind of go with the flow type of season. And this man comes out with with 2-8.
Yeah.
I don't know if it'll be that bad, but
we'll see. We'll run through it.
Hey, we're going to run through it again, and we have Anthony here, and it's going to be recorded. So we're going to put it on paper just like we do. I wanted to start it earlier this year because last year we started a little too late. We were running into the season a little bit. So if we start it now, we can always go back again after preseason, and then we can do one final shot at it. But it's fun. I have a lot of fun guessing the schedule, because it really gets the gears going, and it really prepares us for the season.
Right.
If you're looking for optimism, I'm not your guy. I am trying to be as realistic as I can be for the season.
That's a good sign. That's a good sign, Zach.
I know. I mean, maybe a little.
I'm a superstitious guy, so
yeah,
we're flipping the script this year.
Well, whatever we've been doing the last 7 years hasn't been working. So we definitely have to put our socks on backwards from now on. We got to put our shirt. We got to sleep with our socks on like psychopaths. We got to do everything.
Yeah.
We got to make sure we're in it. We pretty much play for the Broncos. So, I mean, if it wasn't for us doing our superstitious stuff, the Broncos would have won 3 Super Bowls, So
that's how.
I'll take 100% credit for it, okay?
Dude, I'm a very superstitious person, and I'm with you. I'm not as bad nowadays now with kids and stuff, but when I was younger, and that was like my main focus, I had a big list of things to do every Sunday or Monday. So
yeah, that's fair. I mean, I was the same way, especially that Super Bowl year most recently was probably the most superstitious I had been since a while. The year after I was pretty superstitious too. But when it started going downhill, I kind of just
because you don't want it to be your superstitions.
Right, exactly. I don't want my superstitious to be tainted by their terrible play. So we can get into it, but just a heads up, I'm feeling a little down on our boys right now still, because last year was
brutal, man.
Bad. It was terrible, and
it was miserable.
And Jimmy, I agree with you when you said the other night it's not going to be as bad as it was. I can't imagine a scenario where Sean Payton is your head coach and we have a worse year than last year.
Well, like I was talking about on the live, even if we end up with this, this 2-8, like you were talking about, that 2-8 is going to look better than any stretch would have last year. I think it's going to be competitive football. I think it's going to be football that we can enjoy to watch. Maybe not once all the numbers hit 0, but it's enjoyable football. It's something that you can sit down and not just pull your hair out for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, just having Sean Payton as the head coach, he's so experienced and he's been so successful his entire career that we're not going to see the mistakes that the team as a whole and obviously Hackett was making and a lot of his younger staff, because there was stuff that we would talk about on here like it's not even the players at this point. Like we could tell something else is going on, and you're not going to get that with Sean Payton. It's going to be a lot cleaner, a lot more disciplined, and I mean, it's crazy because I've been just looking at different stuff on Instagram, all social medias, and I was seeing like a head coach rankings for the NFL a few weeks ago, and Sean Payton was like number 5. And it was just strange to see like a Denver Broncos head coach in the top tier ranks of other head coaches. But when you think about it, it's true. And I had my opinions on Sean Payton for sure. Like he was not my number 1 guy. But the more I think about it, the more this offseason has progressed. Like I might be a little more optimistic than you this year, Zach. And it's gonna be interesting.
We'll see. I'm pretty impressionable when it comes to the Broncos. So if they're doing well the first 2 weeks, I'm hopping on the bandwagon. I'm like, you know how I get? We were playing well. What was it? Last season or 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Bridgewater had us 3-0.
Yeah, and it was who did we play that? Was it the Ravens?
Where he didn't try to go for the tackle. Is it that game?
That was the Eagles.
Yeah.
The Ravens.
Game.
I think I remember what you're talking about, Zach, because I think I was like, no, I think they're going to lose this game, and you were like, nope, undefeated season.
I know.
That was the game that Harbaugh had him run to get over the 100-yard mark. Remember that? Wasn't that the game?
Yeah. Then Vic Fangio and him were like having words with each other in the press conference. Yeah, I do remember that. It was that week because I was like, man, we're 3-0. This team's back, baby.
Well,
the Ravens.
The big thing was you're not the biggest Lamar fan, and I, on the other hand, am. And I was like, this guy is a problem. And we went back and forth on those pregame podcasts for sure, but it's all fun.
I know. So this year, like I said, I'm going to take a realistic approach until they win 2 or 3 games in a row. Then I'm just going to be jumping for joy. So the old Zach will be back.
Based on your schedule prediction, you might need to redo yours after the first 2 weeks. We'll have to revisit beginning of week 3.
I know, man. It's pretty bad. But it's a tough schedule. I mean, you have to admit, it's a pretty darn tough schedule. Like the Bills, the Dolphins.
Yeah, you got the AFC.
You have Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Even though they haven't done well, it's still Bill Belichick. You have the Jets now. You have to worry about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. You have who else? I mean, the Chiefs, which I picked the Broncos to get swept by the Chiefs again.
I mean, we've also got the Lions who are going to be very competitive.
Yeah, the Lions. I mean,
the only thing
I said about the Vikings, Jimmy, you remember that? I said we might win that game because it's prime time and Kirk Cousins struggles.
Oh, is that a primetime game?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You were 3.
That's a lock then.
Yeah, exactly. That's a Drew lock right there.
You were 3-7, not 2-8, because you took the win week 11 in prime time against the Vikings.
Gotcha.
That's right.
God, now I miss Drew Lock.
I don't say.
Do you?
He was my boy back in the day.
He was both of our boys. We were riding the lock train.
Oh, I was big time on it.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean,
I still think he deserved a season, but whatever.
We love hard and we hate hard too here in Denver. So
yeah,
super passionate. All right. So OTAs, they're coming. They came to an end, correct? Was that what happened?
I think today was the last day.
Today was the last day. So there were some big takeaways from there. Actually, I saw some stuff today with Sean Payton on the press conference from our new cornerback, the rookie cornerback that we drafted this year. Forgive me, I can't remember the name off the top of my head.
Riley Moss?
Riley Moss, yes. Apparently he's been locking up Jerry Jeudy.
I saw that.
In training camp, which I've said my things about Jerry Jeudy. I've said my things about Jerry Jeudy. I still think he's an incredibly hard person to cover because of just how elusive he is, the route runner he is, the talent that he has. My beef with Jerry Jeudy is different things. So I can't deny that the talent that he has is undeniable.
Right.
So that's really cool to hear. And then, gosh, I am just struggling with names right now.
You guys did you hear the bad news come out today about Baron Browning?
Yeah, yes. But we signed Frank Clark.
Right. Dude, I saw the Frank Clark signing before the Browning news, and I was like, that's a really good signing. Yeah. Like a crazy good signing, and then makes sense now. But Baron Browning shouldn't be out that long. They said he should be ready for training camp.
I think it was just some minor things that needed to be tweaked. I didn't sound
it
like
it was a partial MCL tear.
Was it
or something?
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Especially when healthy. I mean that edge rushing group just turned into not so much of a weakness. It's definitely not the strength of the defense by any means, but I mean we're not looking there as far as the weakness anymore.
Right.
And like you said, Anthony, you've said in the past, you need to see Randy Gregory play a full season, and we have yet to see him play a full season.
I mean, give me 11 games at this point, and I'll be happy. I'll be through the roof if he can play 11 or 12 games for us.
I know. So I
How much
agree.
money would you bet on an over/under at 11 games? Would you go over or under?
Take the over.
Definitely under.
Take the over. It's plus 8,000.
Yeah. Well, usually I'm the kind of bettor that whatever I bet on doesn't happen. So I'll take the under so he could play some more. So.
Gotcha. That makes sense. I appreciate the sacrifice, Anthony. Yeah. And yes, we have talked about your betting history in the past. Get this. Go ahead.
Legends never die.
I used to be a lot better, I think. When I first started, when all the DraftKings and stuff came out, I did really well. And I'm on quite the losing streak as of right now, to the point where I just bet on my free bets that MGM gives me because I'm not wasting any more money.
Well, get this for the Nuggets series. I placed a bet, and it was, I'll go out there and I'll find that plus 10,000 or plus, absurd amount of number. I found one that was actually pretty obtainable, and it was a 5-legger. I got 4 out of the 5 legs. I bet $60, win $40,000 in that.
Oh wow!
I was calm on the outside, but absolutely melting on the inside. Just watching it, looking at my phone because it was not the Nuggets series. Excuse me, scratch that. It was the Heat and the Celtics. I needed Marcus Smart to get one more steal, so it was over 2.5 steals. He got 2.
Of course.
And that was the only thing I needed. And the other ones were crazy, like Jimmy Butler over so many assists. It was actually not that bad, not that crazy or far-fetched of an idea to win. And like I said, I got 4 out of 5 legs, and I was through the roof, excited.
I'm sure.
So I've got a confession I've got to make to you guys, because I did make a bet on game 2. On a lot of Nuggets players. It was like a $2 bet I made. It would have won like $400. The only thing I missed was Jokic assists, which was kind of wild on that. I needed him to get a triple-double in game 2.
I mean, that's not too much to ask for.
Right. But the thing is, though, like, I haven't bet on basketball ever. That was my first basketball bet. But I haven't bet on anything in a long time, and especially since that was my first basketball bet, I kind of feel responsible for game 2.
I feel the same because out of my 5-leg parlay that I built on game 2, 4 legs hit. The one that didn't was the Nuggets winning. So,
well, I guess we could take equal credit here.
Yes,
especially when Jamal Murray nearly drained that 3 to send it in overtime.
Right.
It hurts. Why do we do this to ourselves?
I know.
Are we ever going to learn our lesson? The answer is no.
Probably
Carry
not.
on. Go forth and do great things, you betters of the world. Have you guys made it up to Blackhawk yet and checked out the Barstool Sportsbook?
No, I've heard it was pretty sweet though.
Yeah, I have too.
I've not.
So I haven't gone. But I was talking to a buddy at work of mine, and he said he went up there recently, and he said it was super nice. They have obviously the open bars, all that stuff, and it was just a beautiful layout. It's brand new, so everything's up there. Do you guys go up to Blackhawk ever?
I've been a handful of times, but I'm not a big gambler aside from sports betting.
Yeah, I've been
one. Well, I mean, that's
back in 2017.
Oh, okay. Well, now we have a reason to go.
Yeah, I do. I would like to go to the Barstool place. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe a CPS field trip.
Yeah.
There we go.
For science, of course.
Of course, for science. I digress. So OTAs are completed. So now we pretty much mandatory mini camps. When did those start again? Or those are done with?
Yeah, mandatory mini camp is usually before OTAs because they have voluntary mini camp I don't know if they had
why
mandatory
did Robert
minicamp.
Salah? Well, there was a report from the Jets that Robert Salah canceled. I'm not saying that correct. I'm sorry. Canceled mandatory minicamps because they had the
Oh, we might have lost Zach. All right, at least I did.
Yeah, I think I lost him too. I think I've got a storm rolling in here to Tacona.
Yeah, I'm getting showered in rain right now. Thunder and lightning crazy too.
I'm in my garage, so I can't tell exactly, but I feel like I might be hearing a little bit of hell hit every now and again. Yeah, we lost him completely.
Uh-oh.
He should be able to come back hopefully pretty soon.
There he is.
Hey.
We're working through the kinks. Forgive us.
We're getting there.
Pineapple.
What were you guys talking about? I missed it.
We're
losing.
We lose. I thought it might have been me because what we were talking about while you were gone was that I have a storm rolling into Tacona right now, and I think I'm experiencing a little bit of hail every now and again.
Yeah,
but it could just be hard rain because I'm in the garage and it's the garage door, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's
coming down pretty good over here.
And he's back. Got him back though. We didn't lose him.
We're all good.
Completely. We're good. The Wi-Fi went out.
I switched over to this screen and I saw I've had my face was frozen and you two were talking. All right. Like I was saying, the mandatory mini camps. Jets coach Robert Saleh or Salah?
I think it's Salah.
Salah.
I think so.
Canceled mandatory mini camps because he was trying to prepare for the Hall of Fame game or something crazy like that. That wouldn't make any sense, though, if it was before OTAs. There was some kind of report that I was watching that. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's strange. I didn't even know they were in the Hall of Fame game.
I might be going crazy. I swear I heard that, but I can't look it up right now. But anyways, okay, let's just assume the only thing we have left is training camp, and that usually starts end of July, correct? No, mid-July.
Yeah. I just pulled it up online. It's just saying late July right now. They don't have I don't think they have a date set yet. Who do we got? Anyone in here with me?
I'm here with you.
All right.
It's going haywire though.
Yeah, I'm cutting kind of in and out. I think we're all kind of cutting in and out here.
There's a big storm overhead. It's covering all of us, I think.
Right. We're all getting nailed. But yeah, online it's just saying late July. I don't have any date for training camp right now. So I guess we'll see. It's usually 2 weeks before though, right? Before preseason. There's Zach. See you moving.
Yeah. He's cutting in and out. Yep, there you are.
I hear you. Maybe. Great podcasting right here. Yeah, I do think it's the 2 weeks before our first preseason game, I believe.
That sounds about right. That's usually what it is, yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes, and you're moving.
Okay. You can see me?
Yeah, I think that helped.
Oh my goodness. This weather be driving it crazy right now. I didn't realize how much it affected it. Goodness gracious. Okay. Training camp, let's just focus on that before we get interrupted again. So what dates did you say, Jimmy? I heard a little bit of that.
Just late July is all I'm finding online right now.
Okay.
I don't think there's any dates set necessarily yet.
Okay. So what are some things you guys want to see differently about training camp this year that Nathaniel Hackett was doing last year? What are some big things? So I know in the past that with Vic Fangio, he was very hard-nosed. He was very business. They had pads on. Dave the first day they could, and they pretty much went throughout training camp with pads on. They didn't have any breaks like Nathaniel Hackett did. Nathaniel Hackett had a lot of days where the team wasn't in pads. And that was a big topic of question that I heard a lot from media and people like that. So I guess what I'm asking is, what do you guys want to see, and how much of a difference do you think it'll make based off of Sean Payton's philosophy and the way that he coaches? Do you think that's enough to where, hey, if we don't practice pads this one day, we're going to be fine? Or because I firmly believe that Sean Payton's going to be the old school, he's going to be out there getting them basically climatized, getting them conditioned, all that stuff, like getting their bodies ready for injury and all of that good stuff. Because I know last year we struggled a lot with injury. So, and that came into question as far as Nathaniel Hackett's mentality when it came to training camp and practice and all that stuff. So, what do you guys think?
What? Go ahead.
I mean, Sean Payton has already said that the starters will be playing preseason games. I'm pretty sure he was asked about that probably on his opening presser. I almost feel like it's going to be like a mix, because we obviously had the one extreme with Fangio. Following season, we have another completely opposite extreme with Nathaniel Hackett. I feel like Sean Payton is going to be somewhere in the middle. Obviously, more on the disciplinary side, because he's one of those coaches that has the respect. He knows he has the respect. He's not coming in and trying to earn the respect in any ways. Like, he's been there. He's done that. He's coached great teams, Hall of Famers. And I think he's going to be hard-nosed, but at the same time, I feel like he's a little more relatable than Fangio was. And I don't know if this really has much of an impact, but him being an offensive coordinator, and he'll be one of the guys calling the plays, the relationship him and Russ has will have, I feel like it's going to be more professional than Hackett. Hackett, it seemed like he was like fanboying over Russ and Sierra and like just happy to be in the role rather than I'm here to do a job and we're going to turn this thing around and start winning some games. And I think that's where Sean Payton, like I said, he's been there and done that. And he knows he knows better than a coach. I mean, better than any coach we've had since Kubiak, how to operate in the off season, how to run a training camp, how to get the most out of his guys. So I'm expected to see obviously a lot of change from Hackett, but probably to me, it's like somewhere right in the middle between Hackett and Fangio.
Yeah, dude, I completely agree. And one thing I wanted to hit on real quick is the offensive coordinator and Sean Payton, because ideally this works year one, right? We win a lot of games. The OC ends up looking great, probably goes and gets a job somewhere. But we have Sean Payton is the true OC, and that's going to be consistent moving forward, in the ideal world, ideal scenario. Yeah, he has his philosophy and he implements it. I think one thing that you could kind of point at for that is the no stickers on the helmet, here through OTAs. It's a very small detail. It's nothing that's going to make any sort of real difference, but it's his philosophy. It's something he's always done, and it's something he's going to continue to do. But yeah, I'm super excited about the starters in the preseason. But one thing that I've already seen from Sean Payton is we've seen 7-on-7. That's something that we didn't see once all last year.
Yep. I was going to say the exact same thing because I saw that and I was like pretty happy that that was happening. And something else I saw today was Sean Payton talking strictly about Jerry Jeudy. Said he's going to coach him hard and he's going to be really hard on him because he knows how special he is, how talented he is. And I don't know, I just feel like a coach that is saying those things, he's not going to give you the keys to the kingdom, but he's going to show you how to get the keys. And there's going to be days that he probably choose Jeudy out, or a lot of players. I mean, I've seen videos of him. I think it was Reggie Bush, and we all know how great Reggie Bush was on those Saints teams back in the day. I've seen mic'd up videos of Sean Payton chewing his ass out on the sideline. So he's not going to be scared to do it with any of these players. But I think these players respect Sean Payton enough to know that, like, no matter if he's yelling at me, being nice to me, whatever he's saying to me, I need to be listening to. I need to be applying it to my game. And it's just the difference in having an all-time, not all-time, but just a great head coach compared to what we've dealt with in the past.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
I couldn't agree more. Go ahead.
Real quick on the back to the 7-on-7 thing. One thing in my mind that just makes total sense is I think that along with playing the starters in the preseason, but a lot of the 7-on-7, seeing that consistently in practice, you're seeing a lot more game movements in practice and throughout the week. And I think that's got to help with your soft tissue injuries at the end of the day. Having, it's not such a surprise and a shock on your body to actually be making these cuts, on the field, in a live scenario, which is what 7-on-7 is for these receivers and cornerbacks.
Well, hey, we all played sports growing up. We know what it's like to have our coaches condition us, and they all did it for a reason. Yeah, we all hated it at the time, but it was all for a reason, and you felt a lot better. I remember playing football, at my high school, and just from being able to have that conditioning that our coach put us through, you were not only in game shape, but I mean, we had a good strength and conditioning program. We were hardly ever injured, and I know this is very low level compared to the NFL, but that's the only thing I have to relate to the NFL as far as sports goes. But I think that was a very lackluster move from Nathaniel Hackett, is just keeping them away from the conditioning aspect. I was an advocate, Anthony, I will call myself out on this. I was an advocate for the starters not playing in the preseason.
Yeah.
I was wrong. I think they need to play. I guess I was so confident in Russell Wilson that he's fine. He's been doing great. He never led us to believe that he was going to play this bad.
Right.
That at the time I definitely had those the dangerous glasses on. So, but I am now a firm believer that I want all of the 11 starters to play at least a series, if not two, during every game in the preseason, as much as they can, or even a half. I mean,
they should play your standard games. What 32 teams are averaging. Whether it's a drive, game one, a half, a quarter, whatever it is for each game. That's what we should be doing. We shouldn't be doing anything different.
Right.
So back to the point of the training camp, I agree with both of what you're saying. And I think from the players' perspective too, I think the players that have been on this team for a while, that have gone through all the downs that we've gone through, they've had the perspective of the super hard-nosed, hard-charging coach in Vic Fangio. They've had the perspective of, wow, this practice is fun. There's music. My coach is breakdancing to Justin Timberlake. Sierra's here. Oh, my goodness. This is just a wonderful practice. Then the season comes along, and they are just atrocious. Nobody's on the right page. Nobody's firing on all cylinders, except for our defense. I mean, our defense has always been great, but they can only do too much or so much. And so I think from the players' perspective, I think in a way they're probably tired of just losing. That having Sean Payton coming in, they're like, hey, coach, we're going to do whatever you want, and we're not going to complain about it. Just get us some wins. Just help us, lead us to the promised land of winning, because we're tired of this losing culture that has been built over the last 7 years here in Denver. The fans are certainly tired of it. We're tired of it. Get us there, coach. We'll follow you. Whatever you want us to do. Aye, coach. Let's go. Hi-ho. Let's do it. I think the players have to be feeling that way at this point, especially Justin Simmons. Players like that who have been on the team for a long time, and they've seen how low it's gone, and they're just the competitive blood inside of those players' bodies is probably boiling, and they just want to feel like they're a competitive team again. So, and Sean Payton's a blessing for that, because if Sean Payton can't get this team together, I don't know who could.
Right.
To be
Sean
honest.
Payton's not going to accept anything less than competitive on the field. He's not the guy that, is going to, Hackett. I feel like he was the guy who's just going to keep playing his starters because he's got to make them feel good and, all that kind of BS. Sean Payton, he don't play that game. He
don't care.
He's going to have your back. But if you're not performing, you're not on the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And he's not going to be afraid to do that to Russell Wilson either. Like if Russell Wilson goes out there and he lays an egg like he did last year, hello, Ben DiNucci. Hello, Jason Stidham, or Jared Stidham, excuse me.
They've proven they'll go spend more money at the quarterback position.
Yeah. And, Sean Payton probably in the back of his head's probably like, I'd like to give it a shot at drafting a quarterback for this football team and see what I can do with Russell Wilson. I know he's never outwardly said that, but what coach wouldn't want that?
Yeah.
The ability to have the and I know Sean Payton historically has usually gone for lower round quarterbacks and stuff like that in the past. And Drew Brees is really his only big example of I mean, he took Jameis Winston and made something out of him until he got injured again.
Teddy Bridgewater, too.
He went 5-0 underneath Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think Sean Payton cares. Like if Russell Wilson is Russell Wilson, like or how much money he's making, he's not afraid to make the decision. And I think he has the backing of the ownership too in that. I truly do. I think they have that. He was explaining the triad. You have the ownership, the general manager, and then the head coach. And that's the key to making a successful team. And that's what he saw in the Broncos was George Payton being a great manager, the new ownership having this vision for the Broncos and actually caring and wanting the team to win. I don't think there's going to be any games to be played this year, minus the one that's played on Sunday. So
right, and there was rumors coming out last year that the ownership group was extremely unhappy. Like this was not what they were expecting. So that's why they were so heavy in on Sean Payton. Guys like Sean Payton, those experienced coaches.
Jim Harbaugh too.
I mean, the owners last year, they got a taste of our medicine in the DraftKings world. You go out and spend all this money and then you just
they spent the money this year even more. So they see if
they're doubling down.
Did you see that sign? That sign's almost done. The big screen that they put up at the stadium. Yeah, they just put Bucky back up there. Bucky's back up there. The horse.
Dude, I thought that screen was ginormous to begin with.
Right.
I know, right? It's even bigger now. It's like when the Rockies put theirs up.
Yeah.
You can watch us on the big screen lose a baseball game.
Nobody does anymore that they do that either, though.
Or they just go there because of the rooftop bar that they have there.
Well, they're experiencing like all-time attendance lows and everything.
Yeah, I mean the Waltons should buy the Rockies too.
That or the Cronkies.
Please, either. Yeah. Going together.
The Cronkies put together pretty successful teams.
Go fitty. Let's go.
You had the Rams, the Avalanche, and now the Nuggets.
I mean, shoot, they're all married. They're all intertwined in some way anyway.
Yeah, Cronky and the Waltons. Yeah.
Buy it together, mutual investment.
Let's call it right now on the podcast. Let's call for the Cronkies or the Monforts. No, not the Monforts.
Not the
Waltons,
Monforts.
Not the Monforts.
We don't want them anymore.
Purchase the Rockies.
Cronky and the Waltons are 100% watching right now live.
They are.
We are requesting, please.
They are. I know for a fact they are. That's how much confidence
they got the money. They have the money. They can make this happen.
Easily.
Oh man, yeah. Back to training camp. I basically just want to see the team. It's so convoluted because you remember watching that practice against the Cowboys last year and how well we did against the Dallas Cowboys in that training camp.
Yeah,
it looked like this team was going to be dominant. It truly did. It looked after seeing that. That's why it's so hard to tell from a training camp practice how well a team's going to be. But I guess the big thing that I'm looking for is the the small, almost non-factors that can become a big deal. And I want to see, like I said, I want to see more of the carefulness on the conditioning so we can avoid injuries. I want to see less of Sierra. I want to see, you know what I mean by that. It's like, it's not the Russell Wilson show. And I just want this to be a team effort. I want everyone to just, which they have been. They've been really quiet, and that's been a topic of discussion. Is you really don't hear a lot about the Denver Broncos. Certainly not as much as last year, with all the hype with Russell Wilson. So, and I think that's a lot to do with Sean Payton. Did you hear that little joke he said to Russell Wilson the other day? He can type 60 words a second, referring to how often Russell Wilson tweets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was great. You have to look it up. Yeah, Sean Payton was like, "Oh yeah," and I found out Russell Wilson. Did you guys know he can type 60 words a second? Then he looked at Russ and smiled, and Russ came up to the podium.
Dude, that man is just always busting someone's chops.
I know.
I love it.
I know. So. But, I mean, Sean Payton's the guy. And like I said before, if there's anybody that can do it, it's him. If there's anybody that can turn the struggling franchise around, it's him. And I'm here for it. Like I said, just because I'm feeling pessimistic about the team doesn't mean I'm not going to be there watching every single football game.
Oh, it kind of sounded like you were coming around there for a second.
I think
we'll see, Jimmy. Like I said, give it 2 weeks.
Zach.
Give it 2 weeks. Then I'm going to be Super Bowl. Every player's going to the Pro Bowl on the Broncos.
Yeah.
So I get pretty impressionable with the Broncos, but
Anthony, I never told you. I had them at 5-5 through week 11. So I mean, I'm like straight down the center.
Okay, Anthony. Let's put Anthony on the spot right now.
All right, I've got the schedule here.
Let's see what his is.
Yeah, shoot the schedule. I mean, we'll do a quick one. I'll try to get through and catch up with you guys real quick.
Not a full schedule. We'll do a quick one, and then we'll probably call it after this because it is getting pretty late.
Let's just get him caught up. I'll tell him the games. I'll tell him what our picks were, and then he can let us know his thought. Week 1, home game against the Raiders, and we've both got a big fat dub on that one.
I think that's going to be a dub for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
I don't believe in what the Raiders are doing. And now with the problems with Garoppolo, and he might not even be on the team. And
right.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I think we start off the season with a win.
Yeah, I think that Raiders team is a max 4 or 5 win team.
Yeah.
Max.
Let's hope they get to 6 or 7 so they don't get the opportunity to draft Caleb Williams next year.
Right. Yeah. Facts.
Would Josh McDaniels actually draft him?
Probably. I don't think he's going to be there by then.
I'm at the point if Russ is looking, and I told some guys at work this today, if he's doing bad early on, similar to how last year turned out,
let's tank for Caleb.
Because tank for Caleb, and not even Caleb, man. But there's good. That's a good quarterback class next year, and that's what makes this year so important for Russ. Not to get off topic real quick, but this season is important because this is literally the last time the Broncos can get out of this contract after this season.
Mm-hmm.
If he's on this team next year, he's seeing out the contract. So he has to perform this year because with the quarterback class that's coming in next year, or the potential of the quarterback class, it would be a good year to make a change.
So I know, real quick, Jimmy, I know that Anthony loves scouting quarterbacks. He geeks out about it. So I think one of the podcasts we should have Anthony's scouting report, and then we talk. We hear what Anthony has to say about the quarterbacks that are coming out and the possibilities, and then we react to it just based off of his thoughts. Because I know he likes to geek out on that, and he's pretty good at it. So.
I do. I like watching tape. Yeah. Quarterbacks, it's the easy ones to watch because they have all the tape in the world. You try to ask me to scout like a left guard or something or nose tackle, probably not good. But quarterbacks, they have all the tape in the world to watch, so I definitely like doing that.
Yeah,
and
awesome.
I'm okay at it. I think I get some right and definitely some wrong.
I think you're really good at it.
I get paid nothing compared to a lot of these guys that get this stuff wrong. So
that's true.
I like that. I think that'd be a fun little segment to do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get back to week 2. We're sticking at home against the commies, the Washington Commanders, and we both also have that as a win, starting out 2-0.
Yeah, I just think the talent level is different on the Broncos compared to the Commanders. They're cool. I mean, you're hearing good things about Sam Howell, and I was a fan of Sam Howell coming out of the draft last year, but that would be his probably second start if he wins the starting job. His second start against a defense like Denver has. Yeah, I think another easy win. Maybe not easy win. They're going to be still figuring things out early on in the Sean Payton offense, but 2 wins nonetheless.
I like it.
So we're all on the same page so far.
Yeah,
This
is where it gets interesting.
All right. This is why I said after week 2 this season, we're going to have to reevaluate because I want to see the 17-0 prediction come from Zach.
All right.
But all right, week 3, we're going. Yeah, it's coming. We're going on the road for the first time. Week 3, early game in Miami. And we both have that as our first loss on the season.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to agree with you guys because by then Tua probably won't be hurt yet. So he'll be playing good. Great coaching staff over there, led by Mike McDaniels, of course, who the Broncos didn't even interview. But I think that's a loss. It's going to be, we all know how the Broncos play those 11 o'clock games on the East Coast. I mean that, and it's
late September.
Right, that alone isn't promising. And then the Dolphins are a really talented team that are coached really well, good schemes, great weapons on offense and defense. So I think the Broncos start the season 2-1.
All right, so here we go, week 4. Sticking it out on the road. We're heading to Chicago for another early game. And this was our first disagreement here. Zach had it as a loss. I had it as a win with a question mark next to it. Basically meaning if I get through all week 17 and I am one game off from where I think we should end up, that might flip to an L.
Yeah, I deal with the Bears a lot. My wife is a giant Bears fan. Her family is all from Illinois. I would love nothing more than to see the Broncos beat them, especially in Chicago. Me and my wife even actually talked about going and watching that game at Soldier for our anniversary, but we'll see how that goes. But I think the hype is crazy around Justin Fields, and the three of us have had conversations about Justin Fields, and you guys, I think, know that I'm probably more of a Justin Fields fan than you guys are, but I think expectations should be tempered a little bit when it comes to Justin Fields because, sure, he did great things on the ground last year, and they're getting him all these weapons, and I like what the Bears are doing, but he still got to pass the ball, and he still has not a great O-line because the Broncos signed all the O-linemen that they wanted because I know the Bears were big on Mike McGlinchey, and it was pretty much down to Denver and Chicago. And obviously he picked Denver that we outbid for him. But I just don't think that I know that's the team that everybody's kind of like pegging as the next Philadelphia Eagles. But Justin Fields, I don't think is Jalen Hurts. And I don't think that that's the 4th game of the season. I'm assuming I'm siding with Jimmy here with another win. I think that's a Broncos win.
Yeah, we both got him at 3-1.
My thing is not so much the Bears; it's the back-to-back road games traveling.
Yeah. And one thing that me and Zach agreed on is that this could be a week where we see like a really what the hell moment. What was that?
We always get those. We always get those games where we're just like, what in the hell? And then we get super pissed because we weren't expecting it. You know, and
like I said, I kept a question mark there just in case I get to the end and I have them at 10-7 when I really feel like they should be at 9-8 or 9-8 and 8-9, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But all right, so we're both at 3-1. Zach's at 2-2. So I mean, promising start, both no matter which way you look at it from all three of us. 2-2. I mean, I'll take that.
Yeah, I take 2-2 also.
I'll take that all day. Here's where things start to get real interesting, though. Week 5. We are at home, but we're taking on Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. And we both had this as a L. So Zach's going into 3 losses in a row, and I've also got him as a loss.
So it's hard. Like, I've been thinking about the Jets a lot, and they're another team that is, like, strapped with talent. And obviously they got Rodgers now. But I don't know if everybody wants to assume that Rodgers sucked because the Packers sucked last year, and I don't think enough people are talking about maybe Rodgers is just getting old. Like, he can still sling it. The mind's there. I get it, but like nobody plays football forever. And
most people, when they hit that wall, they hit it hard.
Yeah, and
Jets are also a good team, though, too.
They're a good team. They have a great coach. I like Robert Saleh a lot. They have a really good defense. I mean, probably the only guy that I would put on that PS2 level is Sauce Gardner. I mean, there's a couple other guys that are up there too, but Sauce Gardner, I mean, that's the conversations you hear like crazy now. Who's the best cornerback in the league? And it's always Surtain or Gardner. I mean, they're a really talented roster. If it's in New York, like, it's an easy loss for me, I think, for Denver. But, oh, God, that's tough. It's going to be one of those ones that it's going to be interesting to see the Jets play a little bit, see if the hype is actually, there for a good reason. I'll take the loss for now. I don't like it, but I'll take a Broncos loss.
Yeah, I'm in kind of complete agreement with you. I'm kind of looking at when I was going through it, looked at the schedule. I'm like, I see them really opening 4-1. Like,
yeah,
I don't like putting the L here, especially
that was the
for
big
like
thing
that
for me.
reason. But like, it just feels like it feels like the expectation. It feels like where we should be.
Yeah, I don't want to be the guy that's going to say we're 4-1 at that point in the season.
I for a minute there, I thought that's where you were going. I really thought that's where you were going. I thought I was going there too,
time. But yeah,
why not be the guy that starts 1-4? Whatever.
Yeah,
be with me. Enjoy the misery. Misery loves company.
We might all be there about 4 weeks into the season. So
right,
we usually are.
Yeah,
we got week 6 coming up next. It is a short week. We're going into Kansas City on Thursday night. And we both have this as a loss as well.
Yeah, I don't think the Broncos are getting the Chiefs in Kansas City that early in the season on short notice. Yeah. I'm excited to see the Broncos Chiefs game this year. I think we say it every year, like, oh, this is the year they could beat them. But I really actually do think this is the year they could beat them, mainly because of Sean Payton. Like, no, when you go into Kansas City or you play the Chiefs, 9 times out of 10, there's not a head coach with that much experience or that much success on the other side from Andy Reid. And in this case, you do have a coach that has great success, tons of experience, and he's not intimidated to go into KC and face off against Andy Reid and Mahomes. That's what he lives for. So I think it's going to be more interesting. I think they're going to be. I mean, you guys got to remember, we almost beat them last year, but I don't think they're. Yeah, I don't think they're beating them. Yeah, I just don't think they're beating them in KC on a short week. So
maybe they've got the curse of Melvin Gordon. Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see.
All right, so up next we've got week 7. This is another game that I really just don't like for some reason, just in the gut. It is a home game against the Packers, and we both have this as a loss as well.
Wow.
One of my main logics on it is that defense is still going to be really good. And The defense I think underperformed a lot at the end of last season with the Packers, and they should be much better. Jordan Love is the wild card. Who's he going to be? I just think I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like having it as a loss, but I kind of want to switch it right now, honestly.
Well, it's for me. It's like
I think I'm going to hold. But
these are the games where we're like, yeah, this shouldn't be a problem. Like the Packers are in shambles,
mm-hmm.
and these are the trap games for us, man. They always have been.
But it's like, who are we? Like it's going back to that whole expectation thing.
But the only thing I have to go off of is last year. So
Yeah. No, I think I'm confident saying the Broncos could win that game. I mean, their offense wasn't great last year with Aaron Rodgers under center. And I mean, Jordan Love, like you said, he is a wild card because the talent's there. He has been sitting around and learning from a Hall of Famer. But I mean, they took out Alan Lazard, went with Rodgers. Randall Cobb went with Rodgers, and they got really good young receivers in Romeo Doubs and Christian Watkins. And they got two great running backs, Aaron Jones, AJ Dillon.
Quadzilla.
Quadzilla. But there's nothing about them that really worries me at this moment. I'm gonna take a win there.
I like it. I hope you're right. But like I said, I want to flip it so bad right now. But I'm gonna hold. Maybe before week 1, I might reevaluate that one.
All right.
We'll see. But we got week 8 up next, and now we are coming back home. We're staying at home, but we are taking on the Chiefs. And I have us overcoming all of this BS we've been going through over the years, taking a dub. Zach disagrees. He thinks we're getting swept.
You know what?
I just think the Chiefs are just the world's better than us right now.
I agree, and I see why you say that, but every division game.
I know.
I
hope I'm wrong. Guys,
I'm Melvin Gordon, baby.
I want the Broncos to win. I just, as it stands right now,
do you though, Zach? Do you?
Have,
I think it's hard to even say that the Broncos will predict the Broncos to beat the Chiefs just because it doesn't happen. But one of these years, it's going to happen. And I'm going to continue to do it. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going 1-1 until the Broncos beat them.
Let's go. So you've got them at 5-3 going into the bye week, week 9. So week 10, we are going on the road to Buffalo to take on the Bills. We've both got this as a loss.
Yeah, I have to go with a loss. Again, I'm sure. Is it an early game? That's not a primetime game, is it?
It is a Monday night game.
That's what I thought it was. Okay. Yeah, it's just that's still early enough in the season where injuries probably aren't happening too much with a team like the Bills. I mean, there's a chance they keep adding players. I mean, Hopkins is out there. Dalvin Cook's about to be out there. That make a lot of sense for them. But
I'm kind of at the point where I just hope that's not an embarrassing game. That's just kind of trying to keep my expectations because I'm like Monday night, going into Buffalo, we should be able to be competitive out there.
If it goes the way that we think it's going to go with Sean Payton, or we hope that it goes with Sean Payton, not that we think, because I don't think, but that we know or we hope every game that we play is going to be competitive. We're never going to get blown out of a game if Sean Payton is our head coach. So hopefully not. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. It could be the Packers that blow us out, which would really upset us. But you just never know. But go ahead.
I'll take the loss. I think that's a tough game. That's probably it's obviously, aside from the Chiefs, the hardest game of the season, at least that far into the season.
Wow, what a terrible stretch. Ugh.
Yeah, that's a rough stretch.
Mm-hmm.
At least it's
very rough.
At least that's coming after a bye. Monday night game after a bye.
Yeah, that's nice.
But then All right, so then we got Week 11. This is where we left off. Week 11 is a primetime game at home against Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. We both have that as a dub.
That is a dub. It's going to be really fun to watch Surtain and Jefferson battle all game. Obviously, Dalvin Cook's not going to be around. And who knows, even at that point in the season, he might not have been with injuries or something. But, I mean, they still have really good players. Like Alexander Madison's a super underrated running back who absolutely balls out every time Dalvin Cook's injured. So I don't know if they'll necessarily be hurt too much by Dalvin Cook leaving. But the defense, in my opinion, isn't anything really to write home about. And with a guy like Surtain out there on Jefferson, even if Surtain gets beat by Jefferson from time to time, I don't think the Vikings are going to have enough to beat the Broncos. And the biggest reason, as we already talked about, primetime Kirk Cousins, I mean, the odds should be in the Broncos' favors going into that game.
Right.
So
all right, so going through 10 games, 11 weeks, Zach's at 3-7. I'm at 5-5, and Anthony, you are at 6-4.
Wow, this is a lot different than usual, Zach. What is going on, dude?
I was a real sad Bubba's last year. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I think it broke me.
It was a big punch to
last
the
year
gut, man.
broke me.
Yeah,
it
was
really
a rough
did
one.
break me. Yeah, it was. I think it was just because I allowed myself to get so hyped up for Russell Wilson last year.
Right.
Just like every other Broncos fan, there were people cheering in the streets when we got Russell Wilson.
I watched my TikTok live from the Week 1 Seahawks game when we lost. I watched clips from it afterwards. God, that was just the emotions that I had in that game.
Well,
it was unreal, man.
What an ending. Deciding to go for a 68-yard field goal.
I'm pretty positive I sat
that was when we knew.
Silent for 15 minutes while people just roasted me in the comments. It was great for the TikTok, but
alrighty, boys. Well, it is getting pretty late, and people have to work tomorrow, so I think I'll call it here. But
I do want to ask one more thing real quick. We can do short responses. Dalvin Cook, yes or no?
Yes. 100%.
Why not?
Yeah, I'm at the point where put as many talented players on the same team as you can.
Right. Mm-hmm. Especially if you can get them for a good price.
Yeah.
Ooh, one more real quick. Where you at on Dalton Reisner? 6-man?
Oh, I don't think he's coming back. I read today that he has a lot of strong suitors right now. I didn't see the Broncos related to them, but I don't think it happens. I think
if he's got strong suitors, he's not coming back. No way.
Right, and they want to. I think it was the right move. Like pretty much, damn near cleaning house on that O line, and the moves they made. I mean, since we haven't been potting lately, dude, I was like literally through the roof. I was going into free agency like first day, and I was like, if we can get either Ben Powers or McGlinchey, I'll be satisfied. And within an hour, signed both. It was like a big.
I just wanted McGlinchey. I was like, just go get the right tackle.
McGlinchey was my dude, right? But yeah, I feel bad for Dalton because I think the talent's there, and obviously he's special to us because he's a Colorado kid. But yeah, I don't see a reunion coming. That'd be cool. It'd be good to have him as like a swing guy. But I don't know. I don't see it in the cards.
Yeah.
But
it would be nice though.
But hey, you never know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just if he's still available.
Right.
So
right.
Alrighty, boys. Well, it's been really nice talking with you guys. I appreciate the hell out of both of you for setting aside time to do this, and looking forward to doing this more often. So hopefully getting this to a weekly, maybe bi-weekly basis right now, since it's still not even training camp and you hit this big lull and stuff. But, I figured we could do like 1 or 2 pods this month and really just get the gears going. But training camp, like we'll just get the gears going. That'll be a good practice run for the season, because I love where we have we can do a pod the day before or the night before, like we did before. And then we have the reaction either that Monday or Tuesday or Thursday or whatever.
And we just if we lose, we have a notepad of all of our emotions, a lot of F words, and we're just reading down exactly what it says. So good times. But all right, gents. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to the Couch Potato Sports Denver Broncos podcast. Thank you for tuning in on TikTok. Thank you for tuning in on YouTube. Yes, our first YouTube broadcast. It's awesome. Yes, you can see all of our faces. You can finally put a voice to a face for those that don't know all of us. So I'm looking forward to this. We're always looking to improve. And, I finally got some good advice from Jimmy over here about streaming and stuff like that, because he was doing it for his other podcast. So I think it's good. I think we're heading in a good direction, and appreciate you guys. And, looking forward to it. Nuggets game 4 tomorrow night. Definitely going to be checking that out.
Yo.
I know. Hopefully we can take 2 away from them. Make them really pay for taking 1 at home from us.
Hey, it's going to work out because now the Nuggets can win it in front of the home crowd.
Exactly.
Yep.
It's a gentleman's sweep. We're gentlemen here.
They planned this. Let's be real. They planned this out. They wanted it to be this way. It was always going to be 5.
Yep.
Right. Exactly. Alrighty, gents. Well, appreciate the hell of you. And like I always say, go Broncos.
Go Broncos, baby.